Excuse me. Hello, everyone. I just wanted to come on here to just have some real talk. I am introducing myself to some. Some of you already know me. My name is Andrea Drayton. I am the mother of Deonka Drayton, who was one of the victims of the Post Nightclub shooting in Orlando, Florida, June 12th, 2016. At the time, it was one of the largest mass shootings that took place in the U.S. Of course, sadly, we have exceeded that. But I wanted to come on here just really to share my story. I have been silent and quiet for too long. I am coming on here to share my experience. I'm not trying to impose what I feel or um, impose or maybe try to get somebody to really understand where I am. But this video will be to help people understand what we went through as a family, losing a child or a family member in that tragic way. So I want to first and foremost let you all know that Deonka was our eldest daughter, and she really loved life. She was large in everything that she did. She was the life of the party, per se. She made everyone feel comfortable. She loved everybody. She wanted everybody to feel like if you don't get love anyplace else, you can get it here while you're with me. So we definitely wanted to keep her legacy alive. I wanted to talk to you about the experience that we went through with this tragic loss. Um, I do want to get into the timeline of what happened, when it happened, what we experienced on the day that we found out that she didn't make it. So just let me know if this is something that you all are interested in. Just comment below and let me know if you want more videos like this. I just want to come on here to be honest and transparent about what my experience was losing a child. So I'm going to go ahead and get into it and let you know. On the first day, it was about 3 o'clock in the morning, got a phone call saying that there were shots fired at the Post nightclub. So I'm still trying to process what I actually heard, knowing that my daughter did frequent the Post nightclub. She would call me all the time, let me know, Mom, I'm on my way home, Mom, I made it home. So when I got the call, like I said, I was still just trying to process in my mind. And I'm going to go ahead and give a disclaimer letting you know that if I get quiet or if I pause, it's because I'm really trying to process. And those who have experienced PTSD can identify with this. So got the phone call, said shot fired at the Post nightclub. So I'm trying to understand. I got a call from her friend. Then she said, well, let me call you back. I think I heard a bomb. And again, in my mind, I'm like, a bomb? What is that? What does that mean? It doesn't make any sense to me. So anyway, got up that morning, turned on the news. Of course, that was the first thing that was streaming, saying, mass shooting at Pulse nightclub. They did show the building. I did not hear from my daughter that night or that morning to let me know that she made it home. So, of course, calling her phone, call after call after call after call. First, it would just ring. Then, again, my disclaimer, it will go straight to voicemail. Got on the phone. We live in South Carolina, of course. Got on the road, driving to Orlando is where she lived, to see if we can locate her or find out what's going on. We get to Orlando, and of course, while we're on our way to Orlando, we're calling her partner that she lived with. We're calling her to find out, if you heard from Dee Dee. We called her Dee Dee, Deonka Deidre Drayton, and also known as Dee Dee is what we called her. She said no, she's still trying to find things out. She was trying to go in to different places, call different hospitals, still could not find out any information. So when we get to Orlando, we were routed to a building called the Delaney Building. So when we get to that building, of course, they have to verify who you are, who your loved one was, checking all that information to make sure that you were the correct contact person for your loved one. Went through that process. I don't know what time we got there, maybe 1:00 p.m. Maybe we were there all day. But let me first back up. So when I got the phone call, of course, I was in the bed. When I was in the bed, I heard a baby's cry. So I'm asking the Lord, why did I hear a baby's cry? So I'm still laying there and I hear music, but no audible words, I'm going to just say it instrumental. So I am talking to the Lord at this time and asking, why am I hearing these sounds and what does it mean, the baby's cry? And he said, well, the music was to let you know that she was at the Post Nightclub. Because again, you get information, you get calls, but you really don't know if the information is actually adequate or right. So he said, I want you to know that she was at the Post Nightclub. And he said, the baby's cry is to let you know that she is in a peaceful place with me. And again, I'm going to try not to get emotional on this, but I just want you to know what we actually experienced as a family with this traumatic tragedy. So at that point, I already knew that she didn't make it without even getting any verification from anybody, because I am talking to God at this time. I did not say anything to my husband or my children. I have 2 other children. We're riding to Orlando. My husband calls our pastor at the time, a former pastor of ours, to let him know, the news that we heard and that we were headed to Orlando to see what was going on at the time. So, of course, we just let him know it was a Sunday morning, because it actually happened, shots fired at 12:01 at Post Nightclub, I believe, Post Nightclub. So again, we get to Orlando, we are routed to the Delaney Building, and as we're riding, I'm still trying to process what I experienced the night before we got up to get on the road. So when they told us to come to the Delaney Building, I said, this is the building that they're sending people to who didn't make it, is what I was feeling. So again, we get there, and I still don't say anything to my husband about what I was talking to the Lord about and what the revelation was that he gave me. Because you still have hope, you're still hoping that everything is going to be okay. But in the back of my mind, I knew that if she was okay, that I would have heard from her by now. We didn't get any calls from the hospital. We didn't get any calls from anybody to let us know where she was or if she was okay. So they call us into a room. They're trying to get identification now. You know, they want to know her hair color. They want to know how tall she was. They want to know if she had any tattoos, any body piercing, what her estimated weight was, how her hair was styled. And I guess all of this is, again, like I said, to identify her. So as I am, and we're answering these questions, me being a nurse, I said, this sounds like I'm filling out a death certificate, is what I said to myself. Again, I'm a nurse, and these are the things that we ask or things that we do put on a death certificate. So then they proceed to say, okay, well, I'm going to take this and we're going to match this with any records from a hospital that we have to see if we can match and see if she's at a hospital. So they come back very quickly, maybe 10 minutes, because they already knew. But again, this is a process that they had to go through. They said we couldn't find her anywhere. Our condolences, she didn't make it. So now the room is chaotic. Everybody's still trying to process. But again, like I said, I already kind of knew what was going on or what to expect. But again, like I said, still wanting hope. At this time, her partner is with us. You know, they have us now rerouted to a room where they was giving us time to process what we just heard and to see where to go from here. Because again, we don't know what to do, what to expect. This is a traumatic event, something you never really expect to go through in life. And the loss of a child is something that no one ever wants to experience in their life. So this was Sunday. Of course, throughout the week, we were there until Thursday, where we met Obama, where he came in to meet with the families that were involved in this tragedy. So we're trying to figure out how to get her body back to South Carolina, you know, just calling back and forth. Again, this is something we've never experienced, something that we just didn't know how to navigate, but just trying to get information on what to do, how to do, again, how to get her back to South Carolina. So we did finally get someone to transport her. Kindly enough, a funeral home from Columbia said that they would come and get her from South Carolina, from Orlando, to bring her back to South Carolina. Again, we are talking back and forth to our pastor, letting him know what's going on. He said that he would talk to somebody here in South Carolina. He had connections with funeral homes. Of course, being a pastor, he would. And he would get that information back to us. And sad to say, we never got that information. So again, we did finally get in contact with somebody who agreed to come all the way to Orlando, pick her up, bring her back to South Carolina. Of course, we want to see her during this time, but because of the nature of what happened, we could not view her body until she got back to South Carolina. So we got back to South Carolina Friday. The tragedy happened Sunday, June 12th. It made it June 12th Sunday because it was after midnight. So we got back to South Carolina that Thursday. We went to see Obama. Friday, we got back to South Carolina. We wanted to really quickly get her homegoing services done. I don't know why, but the Lord was just telling me this needs to be done quickly. I did not find out until maybe 6 months later that they had protests going on at some of the other funerals that was taking place at this time. So that's why I wanted to get that done. But again, I want to get my story out. I want people to understand and see what we went through as a family with this tragedy. Again, comment below to let me know if this is something that you all are interested in, or maybe not interested in. I do want to also just help people. I want to help also keep her legacy alive. And by keeping her legacy alive, this is a story that has to be told. I wanted to keep these videos short because this is something that it is triggering, discussing and talking about it. But again, this is something that I want to do to help others. So just comment below and let me know, again, if this is something that you all are interested in, or, if you want to know our story, the Drayton family. Again, my daughter was Deonka Drayton, one of the victims of the 49 of the Post Nightclub shooting that happened June 12th, 2016. Thank you. Please comment, like, and subscribe.